Hi, my name is Marcus and I'm the founder of Plastic for the People. Here on the coast of South Africa is where I first discovered the meeting point between a poverty problem and a trash problem.
Of all plastic that has ever been created still exists on this planet in some form. Most of it winds up in our oceans, washed up on our shores, or poisoning coral reefs.
Excessive plastic waste poses an enormous threat to the environment. Plastic makes up 90% of all trash floating in the world's oceans. The UN Environment Program estimated that every square mile of ocean contains 46,000 pieces of floating plastic. Of the over 200 billion pounds of plastic the world produces each year, about 10% ends up in the ocean.
It is here where I realized that this seemingly useless plastic can be used to encourage creative design to reduce poverty and pollution.
South Africa needs to develop new approaches to waste management. This is because as more South Africans leave poverty, the amount of waste in the country is increasing.
Here we are at the Johannesburg city dump. As you can see, plastic is in no short supply.
Each person in South Africa produces between a half a kilogram and 2 kilograms of waste daily. In urban areas, waste is put in trash bags or bins and taken away by municipal waste removal trucks, where it is disposed of in landfill sites. In rural areas, waste is often burned or buried. In South Africa, the recovery rate for plastic is only 17%. This is not ideal, and people need incentives to recycle. That's where Plastics for the People come in.
Here we are at Plastic to the People's Collection Center, where you can bring your plastic directly to us, and in exchange, you'll receive cash compensation.
The idea is simple. Plastic for the People will offer incentives to local South Africans to encourage them to recycle plastic products that would otherwise sit in dumps, be burned, or left floating in the ocean. Our idea is that by collecting and centralizing plastic material, our business will create a new market for plastic.
First, Plastics for the People will offer incentives to local people to recycle their plastic by paying them on a per-piece basis at collection centers. By doing this, Plastics for the People benefits by receiving a large volume of cheap recycled plastic, and locals benefit from extra disposable income. Then, Plastics for the People will hire locals at our collection centers to sort recycled plastics by their identification numbers. This process is simple, straightforward, and requires minimal training, making it an easy process to implement anywhere. Once plastic is sorted, we have the ability to process the plastic or sell it as is to other social entrepreneurs to incorporate into their businesses.
Plastic for the People finds a place for your old used plastic and puts it into good use in other social ventures.
Hi, my name is Paul and I'm a South African entrepreneur. I build roads here in Johannesburg using ground plastic from Plastics for the People.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I wanted to provide low-cost irrigation systems to South African farmers.
My name is Danny Archer, and I started a project 2 years ago to help increase dry season crop yield for rural South Africans by developing a rainwater catching system.
Using ground plastic from Plastics for the People keeps my costs really low because I'm able to use ground plastic instead of really expensive cement to build these roads in Johannesburg.
When I first started, I created a prototype using manufactured plastic from plastic producers. When I discovered Plastic for the People, I found I could use the top half of recycled soda bottles to capture rainwater just as effectively for a fraction of the cost.
These are tubes I made using Plastic for the People's branded plastic. I turn these into irrigation systems that are easy to use and that generate profits for local South African farmers.
It feels really good to use ground plastic because it helps the environment and it helps build infrastructure for the South African people.
Not only am I offering cheap rainwater collection products to improve the lives of rural South Africans, I am also supplying the incomes of people who collect and recycle plastics, all while helping the environment. Thank you, Plastics for the People.
In addition to encouraging local entrepreneurs to use recycled plastic in order to help alleviate poverty, at Plastic for the People, we want to lead by example and be a constant reminder to other entrepreneurs that even one of the world's worst problems can be turned into a solution.